Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a video on Battlegrounds. Today we are going to discuss our top 10 defenders for this victory track. So let's jump right into it. So let's talk about this entire month nodes for the victory track. The first one is going to be Dizzy. And so every time a defender will evade an attack, he will inflict a disorient debuff on the attacker. For 12 seconds, that will reduce the ability accuracy and block proficiency by 50%. And that ability accuracy will be your defensive ability accuracy, so you won't be able to parry, or none of your defensive abilities will work by 50% of the time. The next one is going to be True Lie, so attackers True Strike and True Accuracy and True Sense abilities will suffer 100% ability accuracy as well. So let's look at all the defenders available by class and the ones I think are good picks in the classes, and then we can go on to my top picks for this victory track for season 2 on Battlegrounds. So the first one I would say is your science class that would be loaded with champions that can evade. So you have Spider-Man Classic, you have Spider-Ham, Spider-Gwen, Mr. Fantastic, and Scorpion. All of these champions in some kind of evade, so they will interact nicely with the node and they can be quite annoying to deal with, and unless you bring in a counter, but that goes for any defender on this list. The other two are going to be Abomination and Immortal Abomination. If your opponent does not have a poison immune champion, you can sneak them in as well. And as always, your tanky champions will do amazing. So you have an Overseer and you also have a thing in the science class. These champions are quite tanky, and also their abilities and their mechanics also make them quite a lot of pain to deal with. Moving on to the next class, that is going to be Skill. Now here you have Stealth Spidey that has a guaranteed evade that can help you reduce the ability accuracy on the opponent, so you can be quite annoying to deal with. Apart from that, some other great mentions here are going to be your Korg, your Craven, and then for your tanky options there is Kingpin, there is Mole Man, there is Nick Fury. So all of these champions work really well. So the nodes are here are not really difficult, but if you can't find such champions that can interact with the nodes, you can also go through with tanky champions so that have just annoying abilities on them. Moving on to the mutant class, now Domino here, she is an MVP if you get her, because when she gets lucky, she not only evades, she does all sorts of damage to you. When she will evade, that will also reduce your ability accuracy by a further 50% and your block proficiency. So she is a very strong defender this season. If the opponent does not have a tech champion, or if you outmaneuver him in the draft, Domino will definitely give you a win in one round. Another one is going to be a Nightcrawler. Now, I'm sure everybody can argue you can switch them, but there will be times when people are not able to switch Nightcrawler, and then he can be a real pain. Other than that, you have your usual Bishop, Havoc, Kitty Pryde, Sauron, Toad, and Weapon X. I know not many people have them, but Weapon X is also a real pain to deal with. Moving on to the tech class, your champions that are going to interact with the node are going to be your Stark Spidey, your Ultron Classic, and your Ultron Labyrinth. All of them can evade. You can never go wrong with the Warlock, and the usual Penny Parker and Omega Sentinel are also annoying defenders. Second biggest class I would say is going to be Cosmic, because you have a lot of tanky champions here. You don't have champions that can interact with the node much, but you have a lot of tanky champions. You have Annihilus, you have Galen, you have Hulkling, Hyperion, Cersei, Super Skrull, Tarax, Groot, just to name a few. And finally, there is going to be your Mystic class. Now, Mystic class is quite annoying to deal with all of the different defenders here. There's a Chavez, there's a Doom, Dormammu, Ebony Maw, Man-Thing, Mangog, Mephisto, Mojo, and then you have your tankers, Rintra, Sasquatch. So quite a few different champions available. So, in all, you can divide your defenders in three types. One that interact with the node, one that are tanky champions, and the third, they are just annoying defenders in general, for example like Hog and Bishop and your Abominations. Now I'm going to list my top picks for this season. It might be different for you, so that's okay, but I'm just going to share mine, which I think should really make your defensive list. So starting from the top, there's going to be a Domino. So because Domino just interacts so nicely with all the nodes for this victory track, she has her own evade, she is already annoying to deal with and just enhances her. So Domino is one of it. Every time she will evade, she will put disorient on the defender, and that will make it much more annoying. And all of your shrug off champions, most of them are skill champions, and skill versus a mutant Domino is a very bad matchup. So that's one. Second one is going to be a Korg because he is just annoying to deal with all of his rock stacks, and if you have a tanky one, he makes your life really miserable. In the same regard, you have Nick Fury. Now, I am picking quite a few champions that require very specific classes. So, for example, for Domino, you will need a tech class. Maybe Longshot is just an exception, but like Nick Fury, a mutant classes will be more uh, suggested because the mutant class can keep the tactical charges down. So Nick Fury again, he takes a lot of time to be killed. He really turns on the clock. So if you draft him right, he can be a real ace for you on a defender. Same goes for Penny Parker. Now she's not as difficult how she was in the last meta, but she is still very relevant with all of her shields and everything, and all the annoying blocks and power burns. She can do a really great job. Staying on the same concept of tanky champions, Thing is just amazing. Thing is in meta right now. He's amazing in Battlegrounds, he's amazing in AW defense, and he is amazing for your Battlegrounds as well. Because of all of his rock stacks and everything, if you don't have a specific counter, he will really prolong the fight and make it really annoying for you. Moving on, same thing, we can talk about Man Thing as well. He's armor break immune, he applies poisons, and he's also resistant to crits. Everything you don't need in a defender, and he has all of them, and he can be very annoying on the day. So if you have him, he sure does make the list. Next I would say is Null. Now Null is a funny one because if you keep pushing him to an SP2, the reverse controls don't come in play, no problems. But if you don't push him, if you let him throw his SP1s and you also don't have an armor break immune defender, he can get really tricky and kill you off very, very quick. So yeah, but if you have a champion that has reverse control immunity or like delirium immunity, you can work around it, but he's still a good asset to have because you only get to choose 7 champions from all of your roster. So Null can definitely give you some good matchups against the attackers. And then you have Immortal Abomination. He applies poisons, he's very tanky, takes a lot of time to die, he can be an attacker as well, so all in all good option. And then you have your Overseer, really painful to deal with. If you don't have the right champion, he can prolong the fight like anything. He becomes stun immune, he also has auto block, so very, very difficult defender to deal with. And finally, my pick would be Mephisto. Mephisto with his immunities against poison, against incinerate, and then he gains that power with the special ones. Then in the end, he gets a bit of regen as well. So all in all, he is a pretty difficult defender to deal with. So here guys, these are my top 10 picks for your defenders. I'm sure there are more defenders that can do better. So these are mine. I will make sure I have them in my roster. I will try to rank them up as well for this month. But yeah, that's about it guys. I hope you like this one. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will come back with another list that is going to be all about your attackers. So stay tuned for that guys, and you all have a great day. Bye.